Happy New Year. So, 2022 is going to be a good year. So, it's important. This is what we wake up to. We wake up to the small nuclear reactor propaganda, free money freak show. Now, wait. Headline. Japan is going to partner with Bill Gates to, right here, build SMR, small nuclear reactors in Wyoming. No, the money is going to flow to Bill Gates like it has here from Utah. It's going to keep on flowing. Price Anderson, free money. So the French whistleblower on the nuclear accident in China. So these SMRs, these small modular reactors, European pressurized reactor, they got a million names for them. So these small hot reactors they've been trying since 1940s have always failed. They're still failing. There we go. So I put a video up in 2018 on this very reactor and saying, because somebody came to me over there and says, hey, it's got a nightmare going on. And I reported it was on the front page of Reddit. Google took it down. And I was dead on accurate as it could be. There's no whistleblowers allowed on Google. So the whistleblower in France has come forward and says 70 fuel rods. 70. That's a major freaking nuclear accident. The Emmett radiation letter was sent from China to the United States, to all governments. It was sent to Jennifer Granholm, the Department of Energy, which is the Department of Nuclearism, and she said on it. She didn't tell anybody. A guy I know, of all places, CNN in the middle of the night leaked it at 12:48 a.m. into the internet. And you know how the regurgitating goats are on media before they could circle the wagons. It just went. They can only send that letter, and nobody knows this like Kevin Blanch. The rules set by the IAEA in Vienna, the Blanch box. You can only send that letter if you absolutely positively know that there's been some kind of nuclear disaster. Oh, they sent it. So the French whistleblowers just confirmed everything Kevin Blanch has been saying for 3 years. 70 fuel rods. So every time they've tried one of these are going to save the world. No, they're not. Santa Suzanne, I talked to two guys yesterday, and they were telling, well, nuclear is one of the... No, I said, that's just what they told you. Well, we've only had 2 nuclear... I said, you only know about 2. Because you know about Fukushima, you know about Chernobyl. And it took you how long to know about Fukushima? It took me a year and a half to convince anybody this was one meltdown. So, the whole dog and pony show's in earnest. That's exact. Price Anderson's called the Immunity Act, passing Congress in the 1950s. So they get the money up front. Now, that doesn't shield them from fraud, but they think it does. So, we have the Rose Bowl today, of course, which is the Nuclear Bribes Bowl. Utah, what went on in Ohio, they busted them on the nuclear energy bribes, and they still bailed them out. So they did the same thing here in Utah. Exact same bribes. New Scale, Energy Solutions. Why do you think Jazz can never win a freaking game? They never won a championship. They never won anything. So, New Scale from hell. These little SMRs are a sham. They get the money up front. The Immunity Act, they just get to keep it. So they get built. New Scale was funded by a Ponzi scheme. And I'm the guy that outed that when I was in the bone marrow transplant. Look it up. Kenwood Financial. He was supposedly sentenced to 800 years in prison. That's where they got their money. You have to get the original funding, then the government starts doling it out. So, it's single digits here. I know you people in Chicago saying, oh, woo-woo. I get it. So, isn't that where nuclear energy was born? Ooh, talk about Chicago. Talk about the untouchables. Wasn't that about the mob? I posted a picture. That's from 4 years ago with Capone saying in Ogden, why don't you move here in Ogden? Ogden's way too rough for me. We used to call Ogden Little Chicago when I was a kid. Chicago Merchant Iron was here. So much of the nuclear energy crime syndicate, but we fought back. Not now. So little SMR. So the nuclear disasters happened in France. How about Santa Susana? Remember that one? How about Idaho National Lab where they're supposedly testing? We're going to have 24. We're going to have 12. We're going to have 6. They ain't going to have nothing. So they blow. How about the White Sea in Russia? 8-8. I call it the 8-8. I'm the only one that reported that. 2019. How about the 2018, the D-Day 2020? It's been in So France themselves, you think, oh, it's all propaganda, France themselves came out after this. They have a couple of those under construction. They stopped construction on them. You know, they're way, way late. Says, no, they don't work. They backed out. They don't work because of the French Arriva built it. Now, you know, Arriva and Chicago Bridge and Iron went together and built the Savannah River, Georgia, Savannah River, South Carolina, Tower to Babel. Oh, we have revivification fuel. We can reuse it. That was all lies. I said clear back in 97, Congress gave them $400 million. You'll never get it back. It's $29 billion, the Tower to Babel. Doesn't work. We always know it. It's a fairy tale. Again, they get all the money, and all you people that think that nuclear energy is clean, you are fools. I talked to that kid, you know, okay, tell me about the uranium. Well, I guess it comes from the earth. No, it doesn't. Well, the uranium, 238 comes from there. That's not what's used in a nuclear reactor. Uranium-235. It's man-made, manufactured by ungodly amounts of 238. They have to centrifuge it, spin it. They have to gas it with hex gas and leach it out. Well, it creates byproducts. Lots of it. One of them is called plutonium. Oh, yeah, isn't the Hulk that? We could be like him. Okay. So nasty and dangerous and freaking outrageous, that process. Then they have the Tata, and then, okay, the elephant in the room. What about the waste? Oh, send it to Utah. They love it. It's unbelievable. The old Rose Bowl. So, I put up that video in 20, and that's when the internet kettling. I've been using multiple different computers the last few days around different ones because the university is all shut down. I don't know why. I've never seen that in my life. And I'm so kettled, you can't even log on. I can't even get into my YouTube site. I mean, they've kettled me to the point where, and you know what? If you don't know what I termed it, internet kettling, they put the brakes on you so bad that no one can find you. You know, they take you out of the sidebar. You used to Google Fukushima meltdown, salmon collapse, all the most important subject matter on the face of the earth the last decade. And the answer's been, you know, I won't even talk about the virus because every time I talk about the virus, everybody freaks out. You know, I mean, the answer to, and my fire thesis, you know, I came up with the Fukushima fire thesis in 2012. It's going to cause a heat bubble of the Western United States. I mean, the fires that have raged across this freaking Western United States, this heat bubble, they're all aligned directly to Fukushima. I predicted it. I predicted all of it. I mean, you think about the acute radical nature of these fires the last decade, the acute radical nature of the ecological collapse in the Western United States, well, the whole earth in the last decade. Unforeseen. But I have the data. I've proven it. Because we don't keep dead typos. Kevin Blanch says that acute radical. Oh, all coincidence, 2012. Everything's a coincidence. These fires are devastating across the world. Which, I mean, Chinook winds like no other. I will quote again the biologist in California to Kevin Blanch. Well, Kevin, these fires are different. Yeah. Again, my thesis. Fukushima is... we haven't measured any radiation. Radiate's a big term. How can you measure something you don't even know what it is? This is Lake Barrett to Leslie Stahl. 3,112 days it took them on 60 Minutes to tell you what Kevin Blanch told you 1 hour. Where these cores have melted? We've sent in robots. It's tag robots that can handle giant temperature. They can't get near it. Well, this is like going to the moon. Way bigger than that. This has never happened before. 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 You're stuck on rewind. Kevin Blanch, the ultimate Groundhog Day. You're stuck on rewind. Kevin Blanch, you're stuck. You're stuck. Rewind. Kevin Blanch, you're stuck. That's all we ever needed. You know, I was talking to some people in Europe recently, and they're like, yeah, Kev, we've been using wind for 2,000 years. In the Netherlands, Holland. Ain't much money in harnessing there's not a lot of exploitation that can go off putting solar panels on your house. So, the kid was trying to tell me that solar farms take up too much swath of land. Oh, like uranium tailings? 1/10. Less than that they take. Less than that. I mean, people have these whacked out conceptions in their head. So, the French Arriva, who's been bankrupt multiple times. Whistleblower. I'll post the link. You can read through it.